Welcome to The Survivor's Voice, where resilience meets hope. I'm your host, Angie Sador. I'm sitting here with our producer and editor, Christina Elder.
Thank you so much, Angie. It's definitely a different experience being on this side of the room.
Yes.
But I am really grateful for the opportunity to talk to our listeners a little bit. I just want to say really quick that this show has really changed me hearing these stories. It's a real reminder of the realities of this world, the horrifics of the world, but also that healing is not just about surviving. Healing is about being heard, being validated, being understood by people.
Yeah. And that's what The Survivor's Voice is all about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that we've been able to create a space for our guests where they can be heard and validated and understood.
Yes.
I'm actually really excited and very humbled by the feedback we've gotten from our guests actually about how great of an experience they've had.
And we've had such just a variety and a range of guests on our show. I mean, we have gone through trafficking and medical trauma, church trauma, war. I mean, just so many different things. And maybe some of our listeners are thinking about telling their story.
That would be so awesome. If that's the case, I would like our audience to know we would be honored and privileged to be able to be the platform for them if they so chose to tell their story.
Yes.
We also believe that every single story can help someone else.
Yes.
That's our whole purpose here. Our listeners should know that you don't need to be a speaker. You don't even necessarily need to be past your trauma. You just have to show up. So if listening to this is maybe making your heart beat a little faster, maybe that's a sign that you need to contact us, that maybe you can help somebody else with your story.
If you feel led to speak, we're ready to listen. So reach out to us at booking@thesurvivorsvoice.net. Your story matters here because your voice is your power. Special thank you to Bowman Carter for creating the original music for this podcast. You can find Bowman's music by searching for Bowman Carter on Spotify and on YouTube. We've attached his links in our description of today's episode. Please show him love and support. Today on The Survivor's Voice,
something was off in my gut. I just did not want to go. How do I deal with this?
the content shared on the Survivor's Voice podcast is intended to be informative and inspirational. We are not licensed therapists, counselors, or medical professionals. The views expressed are based on personal experiences and should not be considered professional advice. If you are in need of mental health support, please consult a licensed professional. Before we begin, this episode may contain discussions of trauma, abuse, or other sensitive topics. Listener discretion is advised. We don't recommend playing this show with young children present, and we encourage you to prioritize your well-being. Well, welcome to the Survivor's Voice. We're so glad you're here. I'm your host, Angie Sador, and we have actually not even left the studio. We're going on part 2 of Rebecca's story, and I can't wait to hear it. I actually have never heard it before, so I'm super pumped for you to be here with us today. So welcome back. Yeah. From Blink.
Classic.
Oh my God. So we ended kind of with you sharing a little bit about how your mom, she really likes to embellish. I don't know if I want to go as far as she's a pathological liar, but she's just a little out there. And so did that follow you at all? Like, you've been married before, right? So how did that lead you to, picking a mate? And because that happens, right? Like a lot of times we pick somebody, like I literally married my father, and so we do that.
Yeah. So, I met my daughter's father.
Yes.
While I was working at a drug and alcohol clinic in Mexico.
Okay.
And
what were you doing there?
I was helping facilitate. I was doing pretty much everything. I ran the facility.
Okay.
So I did everything from detox to the hiring. I was the fitness trainer.
Okay.
So we were primarily working with, I would say 95% of our patients were males.
Oh,
So
was he a patient?
he was not a patient. He's a medical doctor in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. So my background is in health. Actually, it's in early child development.
Okay.
So I was a behavioral specialist directly after graduating University of Oregon. And so I thought that was kind of where I was going to go, but it's primarily in counseling was my background.
Yep.
Not I'm not a therapist, but just had the desire to really be there for the children. So I worked with the abused women and children as well, and with the abusers. So I was in this process of doing kind of more life coaching, and then I somehow got recognized by the owner of this clinic in Mexico, and he was like, come down. So I ended up running the facility. And because of that, we would take our patients to go to this holistic dental and holistic medical clinic in Tijuana.
Okay.
So he was there. The owner of the clinic was like, hey, come on over. I want you to talk to my doctor. I'm thinking, why? So I ended up talking with him. We were thinking about how we could collaborate, creating an outside business. So I ended up doing my own retreat for cancer patients.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal. I worked maybe 10 hours a week, and I got paid pretty rad because it was my own company.
Nice.
So in that, we saw a lot of each other, and we ended up dating, and I became pregnant. It was a very high risk pregnancy, and so there was a lot of stressors related to that. Then post surgery from the C-section, I just didn't feel like I really got any kind of help as a parent from him.
So you guys weren't married at the time?
We were not.
Okay.
No. And so
So he wasn't co-parenting with you?
no. I want to say yes. I do want to say yes, but I hid a lot of what he did from my family. And I was living in Tijuana and they were in California, so it's not like
It's not that far away.
Yeah, but they already had their ideas of what a Mexican guy was like. They already had their racist thoughts
On your
and
mom's
opinions
side.
on my mom's side
Yeah.
about living in Mexico.
Okay.
And I ended up just kind of ignoring a lot of these signs and a lot of these red flags because I was a mom.
What were the red flags?
So he was already looking at porn when I was pregnant, and it's not like I wasn't giving it up.
Yeah.
I'm really comfortable in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not as though he was going without.
Right.
Okay. So he was looking at porn. He was lying about smoking. The first time that we had met for a meeting to try to see if we wanted to work together or not, I brought my best friend, who at the time in Mexico, she's still a really good friend of mine, but she was the nurse that I worked with at my clinic. And she's Mexican, but she's also lived in the States, and so she's really kind of worldly and as far as just being aware of her surroundings, and she's a godly woman. So she just had the instinct to ask him, do you smoke? And he's like, oh, no, I don't. Because I'm not into people that smoke. If I'm in a relationship with them,
really healthy.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and I made the assumption that he was healthier because he was a medical doctor working at a holistic clinic.
Practice what you preach.
Right?
Yeah.
Not at all. So there were things that he also lied about when he was going to be traveling, and he was very vague in what he was sharing or not sharing. And oh, I'm gonna go on a business trip. I have a conference. I'll be going to travel, here and there. No, I'm not tech savvy. So I'm not the one that's gonna go on Facebook and do digging. I honestly, no clue. So someone that I know had actually called me and was like, hey, who are you dating? What's going on? And we were talking about it. Well, they did some digging. And they were like, this guy totally has another life. Like, he has all this stuff on Facebook. He had been with this other woman. He had cheated on his first wife. And then with this, he was already in a relationship. A full-blown...
Did he have kids with her?
No, but he was with them. I mean, he was with her for 2 years. So I had no clue. Well, I come to find out, I confront him, and no. So this was before Camille, and then I just had that feeling that he was cheating on me. So instead of going, he was going to drop me off. We went on a date, and he was going to drop me off at my house. And I was like, hey, let's go over here. Let's go to the cafe. Let's go get, and like, a tea or something. So his phone kept ringing. Well, I answered it, and I was like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And it was a female. And like, this is, his girlfriend. I'm like, oh, this is his girlfriend too.
Oh my
Isn't that funny? How interesting.
Wow.
He has 2 girlfriends at one time. I don't know. Is that like a Mexican thing? Or is it like I don't know.
Where does she live?
Mexico.
But not in the same
city.
Same city.
So he went on this trip with his girlfriend.
Oh. Oh my God.
Yeah. She was the sweetest thing. She was so kind, and I was like, let's meet up. So we met up at a Fridays in Tijuana. Don't ask me Fridays, whatever. So we went up at a Fridays restaurant, and he was like, I want to be with her, and she was just brave. I mean, she was just crying and broken. And I was like, look, dude, I don't even know. Like, I don't want to be with a cheater.
Right.
So then I was like, I need time away from you. I need to think about this. Well, he creeped his way back, and that is when I became pregnant.
Oh, my gosh.
So then he lied about not smoking the whole time that I was pregnant. Now, I had a high-risk pregnancy. The first month we went to go detect if there was a heartbeat. It wasn't detectable. So we had to come back because I was bedridden for a month. And she had a chorionic bump, which was like a high-risk potentially meaning that she wouldn't sustain that month. So we then heard the heartbeat. She somehow we always say she kicked the chorionic bump to the curb.
I can see you're doing that.
Yeah. So following that, after the birth, he literally went to work the next day. And she was born on a Saturday. He went back to work on a Sunday. His boss even said, take a few weeks off.
So you're home alone with a new baby.
Actually, not even home. I'm in the hospital. I just had a C-section. I don't believe in medication, especially if I was going to breastfeed.
Right.
So I didn't want her to have any kind of drugs. And I don't even know how I did that. It's just the mother's love, right? It's just the mother's love of being able to have this C-section.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, I feel every little thing. And, he just left me. And so I was basically taking care of Camille for the whole month after when she was in the NICU.
Was he really at work or was he off with...
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, who knows?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it could have been... See, like right now I want to say, oh, he could have probably, because he wants to work and provide and, maybe he was stressed. But there's justification.
Yeah.
So I have to be true to myself and allow him to take responsibility for his own doing.
Yeah.
So then a few years later, so post delivery.
Yeah.
I basically was there with her morning, noon, and night, and I felt a lot of guilt because he had asked me, well, can't you just stay with me at night? So I was...
Were you guys not living together at the time?
We were,
Okay.
but because she was in the NICU, I couldn't sleep the night. I couldn't stay the night over at the hospital because it was in California. So what I would do is I was there till about 11 o'clock at night to the last minute.
Gotcha.
And then I would cross the border. I wasn't sleeping because I was breastfeeding. I was pumping every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I would watch her on video just to make sure that she was still breathing.
Oh my God,
I'm one of
dude.
those moms.
Oh.
And then, so I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I wasn't exercising. And I just was in this downward spiral. And then I found more porn on the iPad that he was watching. He denied that. He was still smoking, even though the doctors had shared the importance of not having any smoke around her. Even if he's smoking and it's on his clothes,
Yes.
it was still important to make sure that, you know, if a person did smoke, they were going to take a shower prior to that. There were just so many things. And then years later, his coworker and him had an affair. Now, I don't know if they had a physical one, but I know for sure they had an emotional one. So weird. Like, here's an example of what he would do. He was taking an audio video recording of our next door neighbors, because in Mexico you usually share a wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's most of the homes are like that. So he was in my daughter's bedroom and he overheard our neighbors having their little play.
And he recorded it?
He recorded them having their O's.
He enjoyed that, huh?
And then he ended up sending it to this girl that he supposedly didn't have an affair with.
He sent it to her.
He sent it to her. There was also like little Mexican sayings that I found on his phone. So like I said, I am not tech savvy at all. And it was totally a God moment when we were in bed, we were talking, and I said, I just want you to be honest. Truly, I just want you to be honest. I have a feeling that you're becoming intimate with a person at work. I knew exactly who it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said the girl's name. And, oh, no. So I took his phone when he fell asleep, and I went to my friend's house. Because I was so flustered. I was just so like fight, flight, or freeze, right? And I was just frozen. And so I could not interpret the Spanish language when I was just so flooded. And she read everything, you know, oh, he made fun of how I dressed, my hair.
To this
all
other
this stuff.
chick?
To this other chick. And he sent that audio recording of them having an orgasm. And then he sent all these like, it's like a Mexican thing where you have a chicken in the front of the door where it's kind of like a serenata. So he was doing like a...
Serenading.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a serenata for her. So then it was like, oh, you're so beautiful. And then there was a picture of her where she was sleeping, and then she was like in this angelic kind of photo. It was just so odd. And he would send her, I was creating this dinner for him to help build his business because he, as a medical doctor, I created him an amazing business where during COVID, you know, it was hard for doctors to get anybody, especially California residents, to cross the border.
Uh-huh.
So we were providing anti-aging protocols to our patients in California. Mm. So there's just so many things that there were so many little lies.
Yeah.
So many little lies.
You feel like you kind of married your mother.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like you may have been a sex addict.
You
ever thought about that?
I think he felt incompetent sexually with me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I think he felt like he couldn't perform or that he couldn't do what the man usually wants to do.
Okay.
And that I think he felt incompetent. I don't think he felt good enough for me.
So he had to go find that confidence somewhere else.
Well, and this girl he was the doctor in this clinic, and she was a receptionist.
Oh, yeah. So
right?
that gave him power.
Uh-huh, exactly.
He was over her.
It was the affirmation.
Yeah.
It was she's willing to give me positive affirmation and attention.
Well, yeah, because you're her boss.
Right.
Yeah.
You're in a different position.
Right.
You know, she's looking up to you. It was just so sad that he was willing to lie. So now that I know what I know as this person who has had so much counseling and self-discovery and knowing who I am because of God and because of just my own journey, that him and my mom are so alike in so many different ways.
Did you end up marrying him?
We did in Mexico. And that's another thing. When I confronted him about the affair that he denied,
Yeah.
I had always told him, you know, I'm not gonna stay in Tijuana and raise Camila. It's not something that I want her to be. It's not the kind of environment that I wanted to raise her in.
Sure.
Right? It's not. It's a third world country. It's an amazing country. It's just not what I had envisioned. So I had told him, you know, at least I'll stay 6 months to a year. Well, I ended up staying 5 years. And when COVID hit, it was the opportunity to leave.
Yeah.
And I had shared with him that I was going to leave. There was also physical abuse in a different form that it's really hard to explain because I don't really want to go there just yet.
Okay.
But he, for 2 years post my surgery with my C-section, he kept touching my stomach. Now, this girl that he had dated or that he had an affair with, Michelle, she super skinny, like just no curves, just straight up and down. Well, she had a baby also. Then
Not his baby.
not his baby that I know of.
Okay.
But I knew of her because when he came home with a photo of her in a bikini and she was pregnant. And then he put it on our fridge, and there was nothing on our fridge at this time. I didn't have any little paintings or pictures. And he just put it right in the middle. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? And he was like, oh, this is Michelle. I want you to go to her baby shower. I'm thinking, why would I go to a woman's baby shower? I don't even know.
Freaking weird. Is this before you knew he was having the affair?
This was when it all probably started.
Oh.
So my daughter was...
That probably is his baby.
It might be.
What the hell?
I
Like,
mean,
why would
who
you put a
knows?
picture of her pregnant
Isn't that
self
weird?
on your refrigerator?
But he thought he's like, well, that's your problem. You're jealous. No, I'm not jealous.
No.
I'm really not.
It's just weird. Like, it's
This
not
is
appropriate.
this is not appropriate at all.
No.
So then he wanted me to go and get a present for her, and I said, it's not going to happen. That's just awkward. I'm not going to go to a baby shower that I've never even spoken to this
How
chick.
strange.
Yeah. So it was just little things like that, little bits, you know, and pieces where it was just a lot of dishonesty. I would see cigarettes in his car, and then he would lie and say that it
Dude.
was his dad's.
It's almost like parallel, like him saying, here's this strange woman. I want you to go.
Yeah.
Like, almost the same situation
Yeah.
with your mom. Like, I know you don't know this
Yes.
man, but he's going to take you to the ballet. I want you to go spend time. Like,
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Random.
Oh my goodness.
Weird,
I never
dude.
connected that. Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, so she just you know, she how my mom raised me, it was kind of like I just saw a lot of lies, I saw a lot of embellishment, and then later on they kind of were very connected when there was a kidnapping situation with my daughter.
Okay.
They collaborated
Oh my God.
and went against me. So,
Somebody kidnapped your daughter?
yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
In Mexico?
Actually, it was in California, and then the actual kidnapping ended in Arizona.
What happened? Can we talk about that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My daughter and I moved from Mexico to California during the whole COVID scene.
Yeah.
In hopes that we were actually going to move to Oregon. So we only stayed at my grandma's house for a month. And there was a lot of issues with that. And so I was trying to leave as soon as possible to get to Oregon, because that's kind of more or less where I grew up. That's where I consider home to be.
Yeah.
And we were in Oregon, and there was definite abuse there, verbal abuse with him.
He went with you?
So he ended up, I was in California by myself with my daughter. And then he moved up with us a few months after to Oregon. So we all moved up as a family, hoping that we would, reset.
Yeah.
And
Fresh start.
try this again.
Yeah.
In hopes that it would, that my daughter would have two parents. Mm. So we're in Oregon, and he's flying back and forth from California to Oregon, and then traveling over to Mexico. So there was there was physical abuse before the transition, the move, and then there was emotional abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse. We were in this kind of very stressful environment because he was having to go back and forth. He was transient, right? Going from here to there, and still also trying to create a business in California and then in Oregon. We had fires, and it was all this stuff that was going on. And my daughter was in kindergarten at the time. Well, she was getting a lot of stressors and a lot of stomach aches. So we ended up having to take her to the hospital in Portland.
Okay.
They had said, we don't really know what's going on. We think it's actually stress related. What has she been dealing with? And I said, well, yeah, she's been kind of witnessing a lot of emotional, mental, and physical, or emotional, verbal abuse. And they were like, that's it. So we go home. Now, as the mom, as the protector, I was like, we can't do this.
No.
So I go home. I'm starting to pack my stuff. He's like, what are you doing? I said, honestly, I just think that her and I need a little bit of time. So I was packing her bag, my bag, and I said, I think, it'd be probably best for us just to go to a hotel, maybe go to a friend's home, and just a safe place just to get away, because you're verbally being abusive to me. Whatever. And I said, okay, I just want to let you know I'm packing my bag for her and I. We're going to stay only one night somewhere safe. We'll be back tomorrow. Then he was, this and that and the other. I get a call the next morning. I got a call that night from one of my friends. I stayed at my friend Tanya's house. She just lives just a few hours away. Well, I didn't get service over there because my phone doesn't get service. And so he had called everybody in my family, like several people in my family, trying to drum up all this drama and get them involved. This is very parallel to my mom. She loves to get everybody involved. Mm-hmm. She's the victim. Mm-hmm. She's the one that, is having it happen to her. So he tells my family members that I ran away or that I'm a missing person. And gets the cops involved.
Oh, my God.
So he calls the cops on me saying that I'm a missing person, that I ran away, and then reports it. And then the next morning is when I had found out all of this drama was drummed up. So that was something that was just really traumatic. So we ended up moving to Arizona because it was closer for him to travel back and forth, driving from Arizona to Mexico.
Sure.
So we didn't want to go, my daughter and I. We did not want to go. It's so hot there. I've lived in Vegas. I've done the desert thing. No, thank you. No. Yeah. No, gracias.
Yeah.
So we're there. I can pretty much jive with whatever my environment is. Just enjoy what you have.
Yes.
So we finally are at this point where we know that we're getting divorced. And we had gone through so many years of counseling. The girlfriend that he has now was our counselor.
Are you No.
Yes. Yes. So we had gone to this other counselor, Robert. He does EMDR. Phenomenal. So sweet. We met him and I met him. He actually helped a lot of our patients. So he was our counselor. And then he was like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable with him anymore. I'm going to look around for someone that I would like." So yeah, he's dating our previous marriage counselor. So we're in Arizona. He leaves back to Mexico, and he's coming back once a month to visit our daughter. And I'm like, okay, well, he's pretty much moved permanently to Mexico. I'm talking to my sister and my mom, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you should think about moving close to your best friend. You have a lot of connections there. You have her cousins are there." And I thought I had their support, but and then he had me go to Mexico about 4 or 5 times just to sign my name once on a piece of paper, multiple times.
Did you know what you were signing?
A divorce decree.
Okay.
Hoping that we would. Now, I wanted to get it done in Arizona. When we went to the court to get it done in Arizona, he was, no. It's going to be faster. It won't cost us anything. All the connections, right? You always know somebody and somebody is going to do it for free.
Yeah.
Jose or Juan.
Yeah.
So.
De la O.
So then they do, "Oh, yeah. Let's just get it done." Okay, sure. So I'm signing these things. It's literally, I want to say, years. It took years to get the decree approved. It just got approved last year, and his attorney just told me about a month ago that it was approved. But he knew about our divorce for over a year.
What is there to be approved?
So we had, I had gone down multiple times to sign this one paper and then this other paper. I believe it was control and manipulation. Oh yeah, do another signature. I don't know, because he told me that we were divorced, and then years later, this is when I find out during the kidnapping that it wasn't legit. It wasn't approved by the judge.
Oh my God.
So all this time, I'm thinking I'm divorced. So he goes back to Mexico. I'm full-time mom with my daughter. And then I'm like, I know that I want to move because we have no connections where we were at.
Yeah.
We just didn't really have deep connection, deep roots. So we come out here. I loved it already, but I wanted to make sure that I liked it. And at that same time, I also dealt with an ex-boyfriend who was stalking me. And when I broke up with him, he would show up at my house unannounced, and he was proposing to me. And I'm like, dude, no. I ended up getting a restraining order against him. And that's truly why I fled, was to get away from him. Okay, so what happened with the kidnapping was Camille and I really wanted to come and live here permanently. And we had the intention of doing that. And I didn't really feel like it was it was really necessary to share that with him. And also the fact that I wanted to make sure that she felt safe here.
Yeah.
So she fell in love with living here. She just fell in love with it. It's like right up her alley. She loves nature. She loves rivers. She loves water.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that he had already left back to Mexico, it was like, what am I doing here then?
Didn't even care.
No.
Yeah.
He almost made the decision, like, I'm going to go do my thing. It doesn't really matter where you live, because I'm still going to see her once in a while. It's not like he came every weekend. So it was either, in my mind, it was either him driving 7 hours each way from Mexico to Arizona, or it's a 2-hour flight from San Diego to Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, well, that's easier.
Sure.
Why not?
Right.
So it doesn't matter where we live. So we ended up moving here. And then when I went back to go pack up the rest of our belongings, that is when my bio mom and him connected and created this scenario of what they were going to do. She was supposed to go back with me in the U-Haul. I already had the plans. I already had everything situated. We were there for packing, and we were going to move all of our stuff back in the U-Haul. It was going to be fine.
And was she acting like she was supporting you in all of this at the time?
Yeah, so my daughter and I we were planning on just packing up and driving back from Scottsdale to Idaho. And my mom was acting very suspicious, but she's like that, where you just don't really know what is going on. So we're at a restaurant, and she's supposed to be there with her husband and my daughter. So I'm done packing, and then my ex, her dad, said, "Oh, I'll come by and pick up, my daughter, and then I'll drop her off, and we'll do an exchange with your mom." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And then I'm frantically making sure that everything is on time.
Sure.
I get packed. I mean, I had to literally pack all of my stuff within a 3-day time span. So I'm stressing. I'm flooded. Everything's everywhere. Yeah. I'm not even mentally there.
Totally.
Okay.
So
I feel like they took advantage of that, because my mom, when she was there packing, she wasn't even packing. She was in the bathroom the whole time. And that is part of who she is. She's very lazy. So she's been like that my whole life. Where she just doesn't want to do stuff. She's very lazy. So she was in the bathroom, and we were packing everything. So then it was I don't even know how it really happened, but I think her dad took our daughter, and then they were going to meet with my mom, and my stepdad were going to meet my ex and my daughter.
Okay.
And then they were going to take Camila, because they had asked me, "Is it okay if we take your daughter for 2 weeks, and so she can vacation with us?" And I'm like,
"Are you okay with that?"
So she really hasn't been with her longer than a week.
Okay.
And so I didn't think it was all that strange, because it was the last few weeks of her vacation time before school started. So we're talking July, August.
Okay.
My mom was supposed to show up at the restaurant. I had a little small going away party. She didn't show up. She was an hour and a half late, which usually she's late a lot of the time. Mm. But she was an hour and a half late. Shows up with Camille or my daughter, and then says, "Oh, hey, we want to take her." I'm like, "I don't know. This is kind of weird."
Last minute,
last minute. We're at the restaurant. I'm supposed to take my daughter with me that night, and we're supposed to leave the next morning. So I'm confused. I don't want to be mean, for my daughter to not see her grandma the last 2 weeks of her vacation. And I did feel like it was weird. I told my friend, "This doesn't feel right," but I also feel mean not letting them have her.
Yeah.
So I let her go with my mom and my stepdad. And when I went, I said, "Okay, just how are we going to get her back? Because I'm supposed to have her go with me in the U-Haul."
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah. We'll get So I'm texting back, or I'm talking with her dad, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get a flight for your mom and our daughter to go fly together from here to there, back to Spokane, Washington." "Okay, that's fine." So then I'm calling my mom, "Hey, how soon are you going to get the ticket?" "Oh, yeah. Well, then she's taking my daughter to Orange County, and I'm not even aware of that she's traveling from Blythe, California to Orange County, and it's it was no big thing. And I'm thinking, you got to let me know if she's
Yeah.
traveling. Like,
No
that's a big
kidding.
deal.
For real.
So then I call back again, and it's just off. It's just totally off. So then my mom's telling me, I'm not bringing Camila back until you and her dad have a discussion about custody. I'm thinking, what? What are you talking about? Well, you and him have to have a discussion about it, and you have to agree, because he doesn't agree that she moves to Idaho. And I'm thinking, what? He lives in Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
what does it matter if she's in Arizona
And you're saying
or in
it's coming
Idaho?
up now?
Yeah, like, why is this now? It just it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Again, it was Twilight Zone. It was just so random, so weird. So then I get on the phone with him, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Oh, well, we're not divorced. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, we're not divorced. I'm like, I have papers that say otherwise. Nope. You never, the judge never signed off on it. So I'm thinking I'm divorced for a few years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a few years.
Like you've already dated somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like, have you lost your marbles? Well, you can't legally take Camila to Idaho without my agreement. Well, little did he know that we had some attorneys and we were talking to them, and I recorded these conversations. I even recorded my mom saying, I will not give back your child
Oh my
to
God.
you. And I said, well, unfortunately for you, as the grandparent who doesn't have guardianship, you can't take my child.
No.
You don't have the right to do that.
Oh.
I'm not giving you the right. I'm not giving you, control of this situation. So you either bring my daughter back on a flight like you had promised, or
Were you panicking? in
I
that
was
moment?
panicking.
Oh my God.
So I had to pretend that I worked and I was, busy working, and then I had to go to, work. So my daughter kept asking me, like, where are you going? And
How old
during
was
this
she?
time, so I believe she was 8 turning 9. So yeah, this was a few years ago.
And was she reaching out to you like, when am I coming home, Mom? Like
She was.
She was.
She's so smart. She totally knew what was going on. And I couldn't tell her what was going on because they were hearing everything she was saying. They were
Okay.
watching everything, listening to everything. And for whatever reason, her dad and my mom completely connected and they planned this kidnapping together.
Wow.
And I kept asking him, like, well, what's your plan? Are you wanting for her to just live with my mom and stepdad and go to school there in Blythe, California? Or what is your plan? Oh, yeah, she's gonna stay with me. I'm like, you are a full-time doctor. Like, you're gonna live in California then? Or
Yeah,
what's
like,
your plan?
Where's she
Like, I
going
was-
during the day? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when if you guys are living in California, you have to cross the border, there's an emergency, and it takes 2 hours to cross the border sometimes. So, like, you got to plan this out.
Right.
I was trying to help him to think logically.
Right. Because he wasn't.
He wasn't. He was all flooded. And I think he thought he's going to get away with it. Because that's the control part, and then the manipulation part,
Yeah.
where they knew that my daughter was so precious to me that's where they knew that they could get me.
Yep.
It all goes back to control and manipulation. So it was this back and forth, and I'm so grateful that I had it recorded, her saying, I'm not giving your child back. She also, during this time that my daughter was with my mom and her husband, they had her talk to the stalker.
What?
Yes.
What the hell?
And there's a court order ruling that she cannot have any communication with this individual.
Yeah. That is so messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How did you get your daughter back?
Okay, great question. So after speaking to several attorneys, we knew that it was my right to go and get her.
Okay.
And so we call it the rescue.
Yeah.
I just after coming back, drove hours getting there. there was like no stopping it. I think there was a rest time of 2 to 3 hours during this time. And then we did like a stakeout. We followed her, and I was able to find out where she was at because I was asking her. I pretended like I was at work, and I was like, "Oh, baby, I gotta go because my job's about to start. I gotta start right now." Oh, okay, mommy, I love you. And she took pictures of where she was at, and she sent them to me.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, "Mommy, I love you. I miss you. When are you going to come see me?" And so I knew where she was at based on that. And we called the cops, and the cops said, "We can't come to you right now. We have to wait until the child is back at the place where we're going to do the rescue." So at the time, my daughter was at this, it was at my stepdad's son's house. So we were waiting and waiting and waiting. So finally we called the cops. We had to wait 2 to 3 hours. And then, of course, I get reprimanded and told that I'm a bad mom from my bio sister because the cops didn't show up until 11 or 11:30 at night. As if I have
Like, you have
control
no
over
control
that.
over that. Yeah.
So the cops are knocking on the door. My daughter's out in the living room sleeping on the couch. Grandma and Grandpa are in the guest bedroom, and they're at my sister's house. They open the door. My mom, stepdad, Bob, and then my daughter, and she freezes. So my daughter freezes in these kind of circumstances, and we basically just were able to have her come with us. And then after that, I've had a no contact with her and her grandma.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And my sister.
Yeah. You believe that you're not divorced from this man.
So I am now legally a year ago, but he just told me because we had to go through a custody battle. So all of this connects to this process of having to go through this custody and divorce battle. So this happened in the summertime. I legally became divorced in November of last year, 2024.
Oh my God. So you were already divorced.
I was already divorced.
Even though he was telling you weren't.
Right.
It was all a lie.
Right. So because I'm in this new relationship, and he was obviously jealous, and my daughter even has a relationship, with my partner.
Yeah.
And we have been kind of in this stuck position because we can't move forward because of not knowing that we were divorced.
Yeah.
So it was almost a control, right? And manipulation also.
Yeah.
Because knowing that we wanted to move forward and all this stuff. And so it was like hanging this over our head.
Did he get any custody?
He tried calling when we were, when I brought her back, even though it was lawfully correct.
Yeah.
I followed the law.
Yeah.
I had received a letter from the Court of California, and I had to appear to the court that I am legally able to have my daughter in my possession because he tried stating that I think it was an emergency something where he's saying that I then kidnapped his daughter.
Oh my God.
And the judge was, I was so grateful for this judge. He had hired this chick was like a Mexican Barbie, okay? I don't even think her skin was real. So she was stating that, oh, well, their daughter was born in California. And he was like, Mrs. So-and-so, I think you need to go back to family law because you're completely unaware of the fact that this child has never lived in California. Child has not resided with dad in over a year, 2 years. And so he gave all these facts as to why an emergency, I think it was like emergency sanction. I can't remember. I'm really trying to block out all the legal the terminology.
Yeah.
Because I've been my own attorney the last year. Even without having an attorney, it cost me over $2,500. So, and I had my first anxiety attack that I've ever had. I never thought that I would ever have it. So, yeah, the judge dismissed it. He kind of laughed at his attorney.
Kind of comical.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think you're going to have any kind of jurisdiction in California when the child has never resided there?
Oh my God.
Being in the NICU for a month
Does not constitute as a California citizen.
Right. You're not a resident.
Yeah,
you know?
you're not a resident. Yeah.
You're born there. I could be born in Africa and not be a resident.
Right.
So that got thrown out. But I mean, could you imagine not having any clue that, oh my goodness, this guy has an attorney. I don't have anybody.
Dude, how awful.
And, he has the funds to do this.
Right.
I don't. And so I really learned about the further abuse within the system of divorce and custody because the people that have the money, if it's a female or a male, doesn't matter, father or mother, but there is that factor.
It's true.
Right? If you have the funds, people think you're most likely going to win, but I just had to believe that my truth again was my truth. And so we had gone through this battle. Then I filed for divorce and custody in Idaho. And then he took it. And then I got served from while I was in my court hearing, because he was still in Mexico. I was in the court hearing. I got served at the court. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was a tactic that he was going to use because I was avoiding getting served.
Yeah.
Right?
So he served you at your court.
He served me while I was at the courts for my hearing in Idaho.
To get custody.
Yes, because I'm the one that served him papers in Idaho and I wasn't even trying to get full custody. It was like shared custody and divorce.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And that got thrown out because I was so just flustered. And I thought that I was going to be able to provide all the information at the hearing was what I had been advised by someone that, just bring it with you.
Yeah,
and I had everything labeled. I had everything ready. I wasn't aware that I had to submit it to the court prior for me to share it.
Because you were doing all your own legal work.
So it got let go.
Shoot.
So then he served me at the court hearing for Arizona because that was technically the last place that both of us resided with child.
With your daughter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'm like, forget it. I don't even care. I just want to be done with this dude.
Yeah.
Okay? I just want peace in my life for my daughter and I just wanted to be done.
Yeah.
So I basically was just trying to be reasonable, be my own attorney, and I had not known that in November of 2024 that I was legal divorced from him in Mexico. So moving forward, I was doing all this divorce decree stuff, all the custody, and about a month ago, so we're in November of almost a year later, this Saturday on 2025. So last month in September is when I found out that the decree and the custody went through. But I also was informed by his attorney after asking him multiple times, can you please provide me this information to show that if we're divorced in Mexico? He finally got it only because his attorney was requesting it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. Dude.
Yeah.
And this all just came to a close recently.
Yeah, 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Damn.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of correlation between bio mom and ex,
Yeah.
and
And they collaborated
they
to
collaborated.
kidnap your daughter.
Yeah. He even my father had said, he had, I saw how he weaved himself in relationships with my family.
Mm.
And I no longer talk to my mom's side of the family. I'm shunned 100% because they've never asked me. It was my fault for taking back my own child.
Oh, my God.
And I said the word kidnapping.
Oh,
Oh no.
my God.
She's the victim.
Of course.
I took her granddaughter away from her.
Yes.
Which is how she's the victim.
Right. And thank God you did. Because what an unsafe grandmother for your child to be around.
Right?
Yeah. Wow, dude. I'm glad that that's part of your life is over.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
It's still a journey because I'm
Well, he's-
having to realize that family is, I've had to put them to death, right? Like I've had to bury them,
Which is hard.
which is really hard.
It's your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even to the point of I've been calling my grandma the last few years for her birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, no response, no answer, nothing.
Yeah, it's a loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll get like text messages, harassment from my aunt and my sister. Because within that custody agreement, the settlement agreement, it was written that she cannot have contact with mother or sister until there's counseling and there's acknowledgement of their wrongdoing.
Yeah.
And they take accountability for their actions.
Yeah.
And even within that, there's a no contact unless I'm okay with it.
Mm. Oh, I can see how they're all kinds of mad. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you come from an enmeshed family,
Yeah.
you don't really know the difference.
Right.
But the blessing of me living in other places, in other countries, is that when I would go back to California and I would see that enmeshment and I would see that unhealthy sarcasm, contempt,
Because you got away from it.
stonewalling.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then I realized, even at the dinner table, they're all talking over each other and, they're just screaming back and forth. And, well, that's just how we are. And no,
Yeah.
that doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to help bring it back to that community of who I am and what am I doing right now.
Mm.
I'm just trying to bring restoration.
No kidding. Wow, dude.
I'm trying to surround myself with good, solid people
Yeah.
who don't want to be sarcastic,
Yeah.
who don't want to stonewall or be condescending
Or lie.
or lie
Yeah.
or ignore this kind of behavior and think it's okay.
Yep.
Because it's not.
Nope. That was a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
What, girl? But see, we tell ourselves, right? Even your survivors.
You just, survive,
Right.
right? So it's like whatever life we're living, it's just our normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for people that are listening to maybe even jot down their history, like
Yeah.
major events that have happened in their life, to go back to that place and try to recall certain things, major events, and then revisit it so they can break free of it
Yeah.
and move past it and let
Totally.
it go.
For sure. 100%. And this is why we have the show, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like telling your story, it literally it releases more and more control over you the more you tell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I mean, speaking the truth, your truth, there's value in that.
So much.
Because when I say it to myself, that I have repeatedly, like, I've said it to myself so many times of, this really happened? This really took place? I didn't want to believe it. And then when I
you
say it
almost
out
lost
loud.
your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
Because they know that that's where it hurts.
Yeah,
They know that.
that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really grateful that you shared all of this with us. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for listening and watching our podcast. We're just so grateful for every single viewer, every single listener. You know, we all have these stories, and some people think, I don't have a story. I don't have that much to tell. My life was boring. And honestly, I really don't think that exists for any single person, because life is hard. Life throws us curveballs. Life isn't easy, period, end of story. And so I know that you guys have a story to tell, and I would be forever grateful if you would reach out to us with your story. Just email us. You can even just reach out to us on social media. We're on all the socials. But if you want to email us, it's booking@thesurvivorsvoice.net. We want your story to help encourage somebody else, uplift somebody else, give them hope. But we also want your story to be told so that it can unlock something for you as well. So give us a follow, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, give us a 5-star review, and we want to hear from you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next Tuesday. Safe Harbor is dedicated to helping survivors of trauma find healing and restoration through support, resources, and community. They provide hope for those affected by human trafficking. Visit safeharborforfreedom.com to learn more or support their mission today. Thank you so much, Safe Harbor, for supporting the survivor's voice. Next week on The Survivor's Voice.
Being wakened in the middle of the night, like at 1 a.m. by a phone call from the police. I think I'm going to call your bluff. The gal from the lab said, yeah, we got your results back.
Thank you for listening to this story on The Survivor's Voice. I'm your host, Angie Sador, reminding you that every survivor's story matters. A heartfelt thank you to our incredible listeners for your support, and to the survivor community for your courage and resilience. You are the heart of this show. Special thanks to our producer and editor, Christina Elder, to Bowman Carter for our beautiful song, and to Dan Wise with North Idaho Podcast Productions for bringing these powerful stories to life. Your dedication, talent, and most importantly, your hearts make the survivor's voice possible. You aren't going to want to miss this